You earn more than you did 5 years ago, maybe significantly more, and yet your financial position does not feel 5 years better. The bills are covered. The lifestyle has improved. But the gap between where you are and where you expected to be by now is still there. Most people assume the answer is to earn more, but for a large portion of middle-class professionals, income is not the problem. The problem is a ceiling, one that is structural, not personal, and most people do not see it until they have already spent years pressing against it. Here is something that rarely gets discussed honestly. In most developed economies, the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, a household earning somewhere between $75,000 and $150,000 a year is statistically doing well. That range generally places you above the national median, sometimes well above it. But above the median and building wealth are not the same thing, and that distinction matters more than most financial conversations acknowledge. What tends to happen in this income band is something you could call the illusion of upward movement. Your salary increases, you get promoted, your title changes, your gross income climbs year over year, but your net financial position, meaning what you actually retain, accumulate, and convert into long-term stability, often moves at a fraction of that pace. Sometimes it barely moves at all, not because you are irresponsible, not because you are spending recklessly, but because the structure around middle-class income is designed in many ways to circulate money, not to let it accumulate. That is the ceiling, and it is worth understanding how it works. There are generally three forces that create this ceiling. None of them are dramatic. All of them are quiet, and together they form a financial environment that keeps mid to high earners productive, comfortable, and largely stuck. The first is marginal tax compression. In progressive tax systems which exist across most English-speaking economies, each additional dollar you earn is taxed at a higher rate than the last. This is well understood in theory, but in practice many professionals underestimate how much it erodes the feeling of a raise. A $10,000 salary increase does not translate to $10,000 more in your account. After federal, state, or regional taxes, social contributions, and in some cases benefit phase-outs, the actual take-home from that raise may be closer to $5,500 or $6,000. Sometimes less. Over years, this creates a compression effect. You are earning more on paper, but your disposable income, the income that could go towards saving, investing, or building a financial buffer, grows much more slowly than your gross salary suggests. The second force is cost absorption. As income rises, so does the cost environment around it. This is not just lifestyle inflation, although that plays a role. It is also structural. Higher income often correlates with higher housing costs because you move to a neighborhood that matches your professional peer group. It correlates with higher childcare costs, higher insurance premiums, and in some countries, reduced eligibility for certain subsidies or tax credits. Then there are the credentialing costs, advanced degrees, professional certifications, licensing fees. These are often prerequisites for the income level itself, and they carry debt loads or ongoing expenses that quietly subtract from the income they help generate. The result is a financial treadmill. You earn more, but the cost of maintaining the position that produces that income rises in parallel. The third force, and arguably the most significant, is the divergence between income growth and asset growth. Generally speaking, wages in developed economies have grown at roughly 2 to 4% per year over the past several decades, depending on the country and time period. Meanwhile, asset prices, particularly real estate and equity markets, have in many periods grown at significantly higher rates. What this means, in practical terms, is that a person relying primarily on salary income is often falling behind relative to the cost of the assets they would need to build long-term wealth. The house they want to buy appreciates faster than their ability to save for it. The investment portfolio they want to build requires capital that their income after taxes and cost absorption struggles to generate quickly enough. This is not a failure of effort. It is a structural gap between how income grows and how wealth compounds. And this leads to what is probably the most important distinction in personal finance, one that the middle-class income ceiling makes painfully clear over time. Income is not wealth. Income is the rate at which money flows toward you. Wealth is what remains after that money has passed through every filter: taxes, living costs, obligations, consumption, and converted into something that holds or grows in value independently. A household earning $12,000 a year with no appreciating assets, no equity, and no passive cash flow is not in the same financial position as a household earning $80,000 with a paid-down property, a growing portfolio, and low fixed obligations. On paper, the first household earns more. In reality, the second household is likely more financially secure. The middle-class ceiling exists in large part because the dominant financial strategy for most professionals is income optimization. Get a better job, negotiate a raise, work longer hours, pursue a higher-paying role, and none of that is wrong. But it operates within a system that structurally limits how much of that income converts into lasting wealth. Those who eventually move past the ceiling, and many do, generally do not do it by earning dramatically more. They do it by shifting their relationship with assets, by understanding the difference between money that flows through their life and money that compounds within it. That shift is not about finding a secret investment or a side hustle. It is a structural change in how income gets allocated over years, not months. One of the reasons this ceiling goes unnoticed for so long is that it does not feel like a ceiling. It feels like a slope. You are still moving forward. Your career is progressing. Your income is rising. From the outside and often from the inside, it looks like growth. But when you measure net worth against time, the curve is far flatter than the income curve suggests it should be. And because most people compare themselves to their income peers, not to their financial position, the gap stays hidden. Everyone in the same bracket is experiencing the same compression, so it feels normal. It is not until someone steps back and asks a harder question, what do I actually have to show for the last 10 years of earning, that the ceiling becomes visible. This is not a video about blame. The middle-class income ceiling is not a conspiracy. It is not the result of a single policy or a single mistake. It is the cumulative effect of tax structures, cost environments, and asset dynamics that together make it structurally difficult to convert professional income into long-term wealth without deliberate, informed, sustained effort. Understanding that structure will not change it overnight, but it does change how you think about your next financial decision. And over time, that matters more than most people expect. If this is the kind of analysis that is useful to you, consider subscribing. The Wealth Paradox is built around one idea: that understanding financial structure clearly is more valuable than being told what to do next.